Guys, we're going to go right into our next round. This is the loser semifinals. This is Scotto versus Fractal. This is another one of those moments that, of course, will, I'm sure, to your point, Chris, generate some awesome highlights. So I'm going to go ahead and stand back for a bit and let this unfold. You both are doing such a great job casting this. Let's see what happens here between Fractal and Scotto.
Yeah,
right back into the drama.
But this is a rematch. Fractal and Scotto played each other at a little bit of a misdrop from Scotto, but Fractal and Scotto played each other at the very beginning. And at that point, Fractal, you could see he was getting, still adjusted to, TEC. Now, it's been almost an entire tournament past. Fractal has gone through Broden in order to get here. Barely was able to win that in a decider. So, battle-tested Fractal, are things going to be different going up against Scotto here for the second time?
Yeah, and with momentum being the theme of the day, it seems, Scotto was the first to, sort of upset Fractal. You don't normally see the tapper or the hybrid player being able to take out the roller. Scotto was able to do it earlier in the day, and now Fractal just beat one of the best tappers of all time in Broden. So there's a lot to unpack there, and the only way to figure out who's going to come out on top is to watch it unfold before our very eyes.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot at play here. During the first stages of the tournament, you're fresh and everything. We've been at this, for a couple of hours. Both of these players are sure to be experiencing some kind of mental fatigue. And in the case of Scotto, having to do a more physically demanding playstyle with hyper tapping and, of course, utilizing dash at some points, you got to wonder, is Scotto going to have a drop in performance? And maybe a window of opportunity for Fractal arises from that aspect alone.
Yeah, the script could be flipped because Fractal, having the misdrops earlier in the day looks pretty solid right now. I haven't seen a major misdrop yet, so it could be the momentum over the course of the day. It could be warming up, working out the little controller tweaks, and just making sure everything's running properly. And once you have that momentum, to be able to capitalize on it and take back the game from those that took it from you.
Yeah, but starting this off, really close game here in the beginning. And if you remember from our matches with Fractal and Scotto, Fractal won all the games that were either close or he was in the lead going into transition. It has been Scotto just essentially maintaining a lead all the way up until 29, and Fractal failing to complete the chase down on 29, which allowed Scotto to win that particular matchup.
Right. And Scotto once again in the lead now. Will we see that play out again? Fractal content to play off row 2 now, getting the dirty Tetrises.
Yeah, 237 now here for Fractal, 282 for Scotto. And actually, Fractal is behind in lines, interestingly enough. And Scotto is noticeably pushing down more than what we saw in previous games.
Yeah, the score going up. That last digit in the score determines how many points you get from a soft drop. So you can tell when a player's been pushing down.
And we've kind of teased about it on how, there's a possibility that players might try and strategize towards pushing down up against rollers, because the way that the rolling playstyle is, you can't really push down. And so if they're able to get far enough ahead up against the roller and force them to have to, complete a chase down of, a substantial amount of points, there's a very solid win condition right there.
So Scotto having to do a lot of burns, but does so as efficiently as possible, is almost back down. Does have to settle for there, and is Tetris ready?
Still waiting on a couple of pieces here. Well, it's open. Needs to hit that S-spin, misses it. And
these better pieces starting to get really dependent.
Yeah, now needs an L piece. All right, Wait, hold on. How long is this drought? There's the long bar, but that left side.
That left side is going to take a miracle, and that's not going to be possible to survive.
Yeah, that was only a 26-piece drought. It felt like a lot more.
No kidding. Fractal got into the same place in the piece that it might be bigger. No, same one. It's at 26. Three, two, one, Tetris. So yeah, the stage starting to be set for the momentum here. Fractal taking that first game. Fractal with a messier start, for sure.
Yeah, Scotto gonna create a hole in the stack, knock down the Tetris first, and deal with it later.
So yeah, now Scotto having to deal with some burns. So you're looking forward at this moment, early on.
Yeah, I mean, this actually, pretty interesting thing. Both of these players, having to come out of the lower semifinals, they won both their matches in a decider. Scotto was, of course, able to defeat Smooth, and Fractal was able to defeat Broden. So it wasn't an easy path to get here.
From our point of view, they just kind of disappeared and came back, but they actually had matches that they had to fight through that I'm going to assume are tough. I mean, Sharky, we're probably going to end up going back to the tape and seeing what happened because, we just need to know, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah. Here they are back again, Scott versus Fractal, and will Fractal be able to take it back from Scott or defeat him earlier on?
Yeah,
well set up.
Yeah, very nice. Fractal, on the other hand, is set up for a Tetris, is going to have to do a minute amount of burning. Oh, very nice.
Yep. Gets it back open, and boom, Tetris for Fractal.
Yeah, but as of right now, I mean, you could say, this is a pretty important match. Of course, as players continue to progress further and further, these matches become worth more. And in particular, these two are fighting for a guaranteed $1,000. Third place will get $1,000. And so winner of this will at least walk away from this tournament with $1,000.
Wow, yeah, that's a big incentive. I don't know if they're aware of it, but it is, you definitely, in the lower bracket, you want to stay in it as much as possible. Don't want to even lose any momentum at this point. Scotto with a points advantage here. Just a little bit, though.
Right now, 295,000 for Scotto, and Fractal at 287,000. And another misdrop from Fractal, but you've got to keep in mind, Fractal is also slightly behind in lines. And if we compare Fractal's performance now to the performance earlier, I'm seeing significantly less misdrops.
Yeah. So it does seem like Fractal has worked out the issues with control, and we'll see a performance much closer to full potential. Wow, Fractal just getting all those pieces over to the left. Yeah, that was probably a misdrop. He's got to get a Tetris to be able to safely burn down.
All right, nice. Now he's going to be able to spend some time and deal with this.
Yeah.
Scotto's been working a lot with center wells in this particular game.
Fractal might turn that into a dirty well. Fractal does turn it into a dirty well, and boom! Dirty Tetris for Fractal. Able to turn that playfield, with a mess at the bottom, into a Tetris situation and make the maximum amount of points possible to economize. But I messy playfield. Let's see how Fractal can tidy this up. This is a spin. So yeah, just holes forming everywhere on Fractal's board.
Oh, nice spin right there. What a solve.
So yeah, Scotto able to take a little bit of advantage here. Has the cleaner board and almost Tetris ready. Oh wow, with the right side fit. Boom, Tetris for Scotto. That was beautiful.
Another misdrop from Fractal. We have 20 lines to kind of clean this up. And right now, this is looking like 18-5 B-type. So yeah, that's kind of actually the challenge, you know, clearing B-type, you know, is the alternative game mode on NES Tetris where you try and clear, you know, varying rows of garbage in 25 lines. And Fractal kind of needs to get as clean as possible in doing so. Has actually done a fantastic job, brought it down to a much comfortable position.
Yeah, and transition to 19 for both players. Scotto up by 106,000 points now. Fractal with the misdrop there is going to have to do a little bit more cleaning, and it had not the best transition.
Yeah, once again, Scotto with a massive advantage going into level 19. Oh, nice split trip over there for Fractal.
Yeah, Fractal getting it back under control. Finally having sight of those last pesky holes on that right side. Tough formation to deal with. Since you have two holes on the right, it's hard to place something down to fill one hole without covering the other.
And so far, Fractal's still kind of struggling to finally gets a piece to open up that that hole down on the right. But
yeah,
once again, now down by almost 200,000 points.
Yeah, Scotto in command here. 188,000 point lead. Fractal still trying to get drilled back down to the bottom. Nails the
T-spin. And, you know, this was one of the possible win conditions we said for Scotto, having so much of a lead. But this time, you know, they are relatively even on lines.
Right. The clock could be a factor. Will Scott deploy that tactic? The next big brain TEC maneuver to time your opponent out with a big score lead.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, Scotto has to continue and has to take it all the way to 29. If Scotto doesn't take it out to 29, then there could be some problems with that strategy being employed effectively.
Yeah, Scotto slowed down big time just in the last couple of levels, and is in a pretty big-sized dig of his own.
Yeah. Oh, that misdrop. Oh no.
Wow,
what still survive, but this is gonna be tough.
Yeah. Okay. Opens it up, drills back down. But yeah, now Scotto with a messy-looking board here.
Oh, and misdrop over there for Fractal.
You're approaching level 29. Scotto now having to cover up column 10. Okay, opens it back up. And is Tetris ready? And boom, Tetris for Scotto.
Fractal was able to bring it into a close enough position, but really needed to capitalize almost every single Tetris while Scotto was digging. Because 185, almost 200,000 points.
Scotto with another Tetris on the kill screen. Isn't going to be able to squeeze much more out of that. No more line clears. 187, 149 chase down. Fractal catching up big time there.
But this is still tough. Like, Fractal has to actively go for Tetrises here.
29, right.
See what Fractal's able to do. All right.
Triples.
Oh, nice flat burn. Okay. Okay, set up for the Tetris. Wow. There it is. Boom, Tetris for Fractal. Down by now 90,000 points. And set up for another.
Again.
And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Fractal. Massive Tetrises.
Tetris is raining down on 29. What world do we live in?
And oh, goes for the tuck and is able to hit it. But now the time pressure is no longer really a factor. Has a minute to get 35,000 points.
Yeah. Fractal, aware of the situation, tending to the score immediately, can now ride this out.
All right, there's a triple. That's massive.
Yeah. Most of the way there.
Needs a couple more burns. Still not free. All it takes is one misdrop.
And
one more line should do it, and there it is. What a chase down by Fractal. And I mean, if you're Scotto, what can you do? You did almost everything right. You had a 200,000 point lead going into level 29. You forced Fractal to have to go for Tetrises, played that dangerous game with faith. And
yeah,
Fractal played it and won.
Right. So you're betting that your level 29 capable player isn't going to go for Tetrises. Well, that's not a winning strategy anymore because Fractal can get the Tetrises on level 29.
And get the Tetrises, can survive, and had the discipline and know when and when not to go for them.
That's right. Fractal's skill on 29 is terrifying. How will this all end? There will be blocks. Fractal with all the momentum.
I mean, that's insane. That's another world record. The biggest 29 plus chase down. Like 220,000 points.
Yeah. Almost like they scripted it. It's like, hey, let's bust some world records while we're having this thing. Just because.
Absolutely ridiculous. And,
players pushing each other. You can't get that kind of record without having an equally good player. So the shout outs to everybody who participated in the Honda Fan Cup to make, all of this record breaking, limit pushing possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is, right after the TCWC. We already saw some insanely high competitive games there. And we just seen just about every single record that was set in those competitive matches broken in Honda Cup almost during the second week of qualifiers. And then today, what you saw is what you'd expect to see between people that are playing the native NES version of Tetris, not people playing on TEC.
That's right. Yeah, and playing at the absolute highest level of play, pulling off maneuvers, that you really need to be the best in the world to be able to. Oh no, Fractal missing that drop there might top out. Early top out for Fractal, and Scotto Bozo is a Tetris away, bangs it down, takes the round. Just like that.
Really didn't get started here. Able to take it before Fractal even reached 8 or 20 lines.
Fractal had a dirty setup and then was trying to spin an L or a J, missed it, and it hung. And that spiraled out of control in a hurry. And if you recall what happened in the last match, momentum is everything. And Scotto starting to set the stage for a reverse sweep. Could we see it?
I mean, if it's able to happen again, then, it's probably one of the best individual matches that we've seen, or individual matchups that we've seen here in Tetris Effect Connected competitive.
Yeah, big props to our scriptwriter.
In terms of just overall match history between the two, they're now, in terms of just overall competitive, they're now 2-2. So the winner of this will have the winning record up against the other player.
Yeah. And this is for legitimate money position here.
Yeah, but so far everything seems to be stable. Fractal playing a tad bit more efficient than Scotto here in the beginning.
Playing up high.
All right, there it is.
Still some aggressive choices, really holding out, trying to avoid getting into a dig situation. This is a spin.
And I mean, these players don't really get too much of a break either. Winner of this match goes to fight Huff.
Right. Yeah, we're in a situation where the remaining players on the field are absolutely some of the best players in the world. This can only end in players pushing each other to the very breaking point of what's possible in Tetris.
Yeah, but Scotto, little uncomfortable kind of spire developing in the center there. He's going to be spending some time getting this under control. And interesting placement right there. Very cerebral by Scotto.
Yeah. What?
What a creative way to dig out of that.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to call those. We're gonna have to have a name for that sometime, right? Where it looks so interesting, yet so unorthodox. You have to kind of watch it later and figure it out.
We'll figure out a name. I mean, the Tetris community, we're not too good at naming things in general. But we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But as a result, Scotto is currently in the lead.
Yeah, and Fractal having to play off of row 2 now. Dags down Dirty Tetris. And is actually not gonna burn back down. Wants to keep that single. That's crazy. Are you kidding me?
And nice burn over there by Fractal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, most people would have actually gone for the T-spin there. Like, it's right, you have it, it's right there. But in not going for the T-spin, Fractal was able to knock down a Tetris.
Right. Just super pinpoint economization. Whoa. Is that a miss drop or a tuck setup? I can't tell.
That one was the tuck setup. I'm confident it's the tuck setup.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, these players have been playing and showing some incredibly creative styles of stacking. Like, I mean, we thought that, you know, Scotto was in a rough place, you know, just a couple of, like, maybe 20 or so lines ago, but then turns out all of it was intentional for the chance at the most efficient dig.
That's right. And Fractal now still playing off the bottom. But Scotto opening up a lead now of 80,000 points. This is what Scotto wants, to be able to keep this momentum, possibly take this next game and lead it up to a decider.
Also, at the same time, you know, Scotto is hoping that Fractal runs into a lot of trouble before 19, because we saw what happened when Fractal had a good board going into 29, and that particular chase down, that was possibly the most difficult chase down that had been done in the almost, let's say, top 2 in the entire Honda Cup. You had to go for those Tetrises on the 29 speed. You had to judge when was the right time to set up and when not to.
Yeah, they were done low and they were done early, and that allowed, I think that really allowed for the throttling of aggression to sort of mitigate taking too big of a risk near the end of that chase down.
Yeah, but there it is. Transition for Scotto at 538. And, I like that setup by Fractal. The pieces were slightly more compliant. There it is. What a setup. And Scotto with a misdrop.
Yeah. We could be seeing, you know, fatigue from all players, no matter their style, be a factor. Uncharacteristic misdrops there by Scotto. This is starting to get dangerous, starting to become very dependent.
Needs
Really
the eyepiece now. Okay, that's one step covered.
Not out of it yet.
And that
that
hang!
left side might be fatal. Needs to get something over to the left, and that's going to be a top out. So only a 54,000 point chase down for Fractal remains. And one more Tetris will do it.
And waiting on it right now. That's going to be a triple, and there it is.
And
Fractal is good.
Fractal advances, eliminating Scotto. So now we have 3 left. Arguably, perhaps the 3 best players in the world.
I mean, it's very interesting. I mean, all of these players have secured at least $1,000, but now we start talking about players that all have the same skill set, 29 playability.
29 play, awesome stacking, and awesome ability. 3 Tetris titans of all time are gonna battle it out to determine who's the best in the world here at the Honda Fan Cup.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And of course, then there were 3. And boy, has it been a journey just to get to this point. And it's not done yet here, gang. I will say that some incredible gameplay, absolutely. And also a huge thank you to our casters. You know, Chris, Sharky, you guys have been doing so much throughout this entire tournament, throughout this community. And of course, you talk about endurance here, Chris, and for these players. But let's be clear, you all have been every step of the way.
Hey, we're here for the ride, and what a journey it has been. It is an honor to be able to cast games this good. It's the players that are making this possible, and I have all the energy in the world to watch those chase downs, boom those Tetrises, and see it all play out. History smashed and broken before our very eyes.
It is incredible, Sharky. Chris, you're absolutely right. Sharky, it is incredible. We're really at sort of the sideline of history here for so many ways.
Yeah, I mean, history is going to be made through this Honda Fan Cup in general. I mean, we've already seen so many world records. I mean, I wouldn't say broken. That's not a strong enough word. Probably something like shattered, demolished, destroyed, like just all the synonyms out there. And there's still potential for more because all these players that are left, they're incredibly skilled at 29 play. And Fractal, you know, we've seen, you know, he's been struggling a little bit with the misdrops, but with the chase down by 220,000 points, and able to have the game sense to recognize what to do in the beginning of 29 and then just essentially coast to take that game, it's insane.
It is insane, absolutely. And I really quick want to ask you about that post-29 gameplay, because what I've noticed again and again, of course, I am newer to this scene for sure, but one thing I wanted to ask you, Chris, talk to me a little bit about when we get that post-29. I've noticed a lot of players, they come down to that first level, that second level, that first line, that second line, and they stay down there for a while. Is it a strat where you're like, you know, I'm not going to worry about my getting Tetris here. I'm just going to go and keep those lines low. Or is it a matter of they're in the zone to a place that is mythological?
A little bit of both. You want to be near the floor. You want to clear the lines to stay alive. And however your pieces, your structures form, if you see the potential to go for that double, triple, or maybe even a Tetris, you have to, that's the moment-to-moment challenge. Throttle your aggression. Do you go for that Tetris or not? And in that game, that one crazy Tetris chase down that we saw where 2 Tetrises were made on level 29, there was a timer ticking, and the decision was made to go for those 2 Tetrises, and that made the difference.